Nexxlegacy.
You know how you listen to certain songs and it'll take you back to a certain point in time in your lifetime? This song definitely does it here. What's happening? Your man Brandon is in the building tonight. It's all about you people on this edition of Brandon After Dark. Hope everybody's winding down from a real hectic holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend. I know a lot of people took vacations and extra time off just to be able to celebrate Independence Day and things like that. So I'm glad everybody is here hanging out with us tonight. And tonight, like I said, is when you hear a song Come Over by 4byFour, people out there that remembers the group and the music definitely is going to love tonight, because I have the group in the house tonight. I have Damon, who's mic'd up and on, as well as Jay, and I want to welcome you both to Brandon After Dark. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Brandon? What's going on, man?
Brandon, what's going on?
Man, it's a beautiful night tonight when I can be able to, verbally say, you know what, I appreciate all the music that y'all gave us back in the day, because that's this song right here, man. It takes me back, man. It takes me back in ways that only people that appreciate good music can do. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
man.
that.
Thank you so much, man. It's been a long time, A lot of people have been wondering, what's going on with 4byFour and stuff like that. But, we're still here. We appreciate all the love. We see all the different blogs and people been asking questions, whatever happened to them and stuff like that. And it's just a good feeling to know that the love is still there. And people like to know what's going on with us, and they enjoyed our music. And
Definitely.
we really, just want to let everybody know we love them, and we'll talk about all that.
Okay, well, since you brought it up, I mean, where y'all been? We miss y'all.
We could just take you back. I guess, Jay, you want to start that off, Jay?
Well, I'm with, like Dave said, we're still here. We haven't gone. We're still doing the. We dip and dab. We're in and out, but we're still here. We're together, and we see that folks have appreciated the music over the years, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that. So go ahead, Dave. You can expound on that.
All right. Well, years ago when we were doing the thing, we were doing it hard. We had gotten to pretty much bad management, and a lot of people don't understand the business. We were so young. And, we trusted in a manager that we had, and he kind of really led things down the drain. I mean, we were tied up in court battles, and bills wasn't getting paid and stuff, and money wasn't correctly going to our accounts and our pockets. And, it just, a whole calamity just struck our whole career. But, thanks to God, we was able to survive all of that. And, back then we just said, look, we ain't going to work for free. If we're not going to get paid, then they won't get paid no more. So things kind of went sour. But, through the years, I've done a lot of stuff. I worked with Joe. Jay and I had a girl group a couple years ago we managed and produced. And Nicki Minaj she was in that group a few years ago, too, before she really hit it big. The girls group was called Taj. I know a lot of people might have heard of them. They opened up for Neo and a lot of other stuff. And I've done a lot I worked with Joe, A-Marie, a bunch of different artists behind the scenes writing and doing different stuff and producing and stuff like that. And
Now, with that being said, I mean, of course, a lot of people look at or listen to music actually, and they kind of figure, well, it's you make good music, so all must be right with the world. But you made it perfectly clear, and it happens to a lot of people in the industry. When not just management, but just the financial part of everything that you've done just isn't there to be seen, heard, and or spent. So with that being said, like what was one? And I'll ask you this first, Jay. What was one of the main things that you that really humbled you when it comes to dealing with the business side of the industry back in the day?
Well, that's it. That is the humbling side of it, the business side. Because when you're young, you think you're just going to go and, like you said, you're going to make music. You're going to make good music. People are going to like your music. You're going to be rewarded for the hard work that you put in, and it's just going to be, beautiful. But everything doesn't pan out that way.
Right.
You know, and there are sometimes some tough lessons to learn about business lessons, but they're lessons that you have to learn, and you have to learn them quickly. And, you know, if our story can be a lesson for others to learn from, then that's cool too. You know, but because it's an experience that we wouldn't trade for anything in the world, because it was beautiful while we're out there being able to make music and perform music live for people. And so, you know, I wouldn't trade that for anything. But there's definitely a business side that people need to make themselves familiar with and get, you know, be savvy about.
No doubt. Damon, you feel pretty much the same way?
Yo, definitely. I definitely feel that. You know, like I just think back at how young we was. People might say we were naive, but, you know, when you growing up and we were listening to the Jackson 5, Force MDs, and different groups like that, and you know, even New Edition was rocking hard, and, you know, we liked all those groups. And we was doing it for the love. You know, music was something that we would do for free, that we love to do for free, but since it was a business and money was going to people, you know, it should have trickled down to where it should have went to us, you know. So we wasn't really looking at the business aspect at the time as we should have. You know, like we said, we trusted in our manager and stuff like that. But, you know, something we was just concerned with singing and dancing and pleasing our fans and having a good time. And we was, you know, taken advantage of.
When it comes down to just the music, I know we just played "Come Over," which is, you know, by far just one of the most memorable joints and stuff like that. But for the people that's new, that, you know, you got to remember this is 2012, so, you know, back in the day people probably didn't know. But just Damon, give the new listeners, some of the younger kids and the young generation, just a little 411 on the history of the group.
Oh, all right. Well, it's two brothers and two cousins. My brother Lance, but unfortunately he couldn't be here to do the interview right now. Steve should be calling in. I spoke to him. He said when he got from band rehearsal, he would call in. But, you know, when we were very young, we were in all sorts of talent shows. We would win talent shows and just, you know, at that time, then when rap came along, we was getting into the rap thing and all that. But we always wanted to sing. We always wanted to be like the Jackson 5. You know, that was our biggest inspiration, as well as a lot of the Motown artists. You know, and this was something that we knew we wanted to do as young kids. And then we went hard to try and get a record deal. We would look at albums with the back of album covers like that, and get addresses to record companies, and we would just go down. We would just go downtown like, there you go. We would write the list down. We would hit the record companies, run past the security or whatever, and just start singing. And you know, we was to them like cute little kids, but they would let us do it, and they liked us.
Right.
Until one day we met a man named Steve Manning that took a liking to us, and he brought us to other people in the business and stuff like that. And he helped, you know, spearhead our careers. He's one of the managers that didn't take advantage of us, and that we're still cool with today. A lot of people might know him from the Jacksons and being one of Michael Jackson's best friends and stuff like that. He's done a lot for so many groups through the years, and as a matter of fact, I just spoke to him yesterday. But we were brought then to, we were supposed to sign with, I think, Elektra at one time. And a lot of labels started liking us, and but we went with Capitol Records. And I never forget flying. My first airplane flight was to Michigan, where we met with Melvin Rowley from Ready for the World, and he had did the song "Come Over" for us. And I'll never forget, it was real cold out there, you know, with snow all over the place.
Freezing.
And we went in and recorded the song. Steve went in hard, and he put down the lead. And I know Jay did a lot of background, and me and Lance came in and filled in, and Lance did a little ad-libs on it on the little bridge parts. And wherever we went, came out of 4byFour. Our first single was "One Trip for My Girlfriend." But when we came out and when "Come Over" hit, I mean, our lives changed. We couldn't go places together. When we would go through the airport, they would chase us and all that type of stuff. And I mean, literally run to the car and drive, and just to see girls fainting and crying and stuff like that. Like, it was that humbling enough. Like,
no
you
doubt.
know, you look at yourself and you try to be a down-to-earth person, and you're on stage singing, and people are fainting and crying and stuff like that. You know, that really touched my heart back then.
Wow. And, fellas, you said Steve was going to be a part of this convo tonight, too, on Branded After Dark, right?
I know he had, the one thing he texted me about, he's down in North Carolina. See, I'm in Hackensack, New Jersey. My wife and I moved out there.
Okay.
Jay is in the Bronx. We all on, you know, we on different parts of the globe right now, so to speak.
Is he on the 919 area code?
Is he 911? He might. I'm not sure.
Let's find out. 919. If you're not Steve, my bad, but you're on Branded After Dark with 4byFour. What's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Anybody hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, hey, what's good? This is Steve.
There you go.
What's up, Steve? There he is.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, fella? What's up, man? How's it going?
Everything's good, baby. I'm tired, but everything's good. Just came from band rehearsal not too long ago.
Man, I'm glad you're here, hanging out with us on this edition of Branded After Dark, and Damon was just kind of going over the history. But before I ask you a question, Jay, you know, like Damon was saying, just that part of just it being all just, you know, the girls fainting and just, you know, people just really screaming off the top of their lungs for the group 4byFour, like, you know, it's humbling, no doubt, but, you know, that definitely didn't change a humble person, right?
Oh, no, we definitely maintained our humility, and we're still the same down-to-earth cats that we were then, but it just puts you in a different mindset to think that it's humbling to think that what your music can mean to somebody else, what's something that you just do for the love of doing it can mean to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean that's, you know, it's a blessing.
No doubt. And Steve, when you first started doing, you know, this and working with the group and having the you know, so many people just appreciate what you've done for your art form, you know, I know it didn't change you, but, you know, did you look at music a lot differently now? Like, you know, when all this attention was shining bright on you guys?
I guess I'd have to agree with what Damon said earlier. When I started singing, I didn't do it with the mindset that I'm going to make a career out of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a kid, man, I sing around the house, and, you know, we just sing for the love of it. We just sang because we enjoyed it. You know, I have a brother, older brother and sister. We used to sing around the house and play guitar and write songs, and we just did it for the love of music. And so the whole career thing came as a surprise to me. It's not like some people have the eye of the tiger from children. You know, when they're little children, they want to become the next, you know, Michael Jackson or the next Stevie Wonder. My mindset was, you know, I'm doing it because I like it, and an opportunity opened up for me to be a part of something cool like that, you know, like 4byFour, you know, and so I was like, wow, you know, this is great. Let me go ahead and go for the ride. So it's like, it was like an experience for me, one that I didn't really sit out on, but, you know, I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to do it. And I know a lot of people ask about it, you know, and they say, well, what must have that been like, you know? And so I try to just kind of shine a good light on it, because a lot of times people will look at you and they'll say, oh, man, you guys used to be. But it's like, you know, we're still good. We're still living. We're still loving. We still have great families, and we still, you know, we're on God's path. So, you know, it was just a great time in life. And, you know, I look back at it now. My kids ask me about it, and they say, Dad, you know, you used to be a star. I'm like, no, I don't know. I guess you can look at it like that, you know. You can look at it like that if you want to, you know. They pull us up on YouTube, and they look at the whole videos, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I never really had it. My heart set on it as a kid, but, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was, and it's just great to look back at it, you know.
One thing I could safely respect out of stuff is especially, you know, and when it comes down to it, and it's funny, fellas, when you really look at it, you know, when most groups or solo artists or whatever the case may be, when they first start out, now it's just, you know, rewind it, not just the 80s, but the 70s, probably the 60s and beyond that. You know, when they first start off, their whole mission is really just to be able to get their God-given talent out to the people. You know, it's not about, the money per se, and of course, if you want to, of course, the more attention you get and the more opportunity for money to be able to be made off of something that you love to do, it's definitely good, and that's one thing I can safely say, because you've said the same thing, New Edition have said the same thing, so many different groups have said, you know what, we want to do this for the love first, and then everything else happens later. Now let's fast forward to nowadays. And I'm gonna ask this question to you, Jay. What happened? What happened?
What happened?
And when I say what happened, I'm like, what happened to the love first? Now it's just more of like, okay, let me see if I can get a deal for a right price first, and then I'll go ahead and give the people this.
So you mean what happened with today's artists?
Yes.
Artists? I can only speculate, but that's what it has been. I think the art form has been, tainted and somewhat, I don't know, it's going through the ways. It's not what it's not, often it's not done for. I'm not going to say that today's new artists don't love what they do.
Right.
But it doesn't seem to be done simply for the love. The people are trying to get a quick buck and trying to do this easy music, and everybody's trying to do the same type of music. And I don't know, and you see a lot of artists that maybe they're flash in the pan, or maybe they're a success story overnight. We really worked hard at it because we loved it, and I think we did it closer to the way that it was done way back in the day. Now, I'll take you back to when we got our deal. We actually all went into the A&R's office, moved the desk out of the way, pressed the cassette player, and started dancing and singing live, putting on a show. I think a 5-song show right in that man's office. And so it's just we did it from a love of just loving to perform. Today, I mean, it's about $1 in a lot of ways, and not to put down, because there is some good music out there, but
right.
There's some music that happened overnight, and it sounds kind of like it happened overnight. No disrespect intended.
No doubt. No, but that's real, because you have come over and in a lot of joints that you did, and you have a lot of songs that's still relevant today based on the love, and a lot of people, I always measure an artist is by what impact that you have as far as how you made myself and others feel. It's not about the look. It's not about it's about the sound, but it's more about the passion of what you're trying to put out for the people. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to grab you and grab other people to really appreciate it. Like, you got to remember, I mean, Come Over, that's been out, that was, late 80s, I want to say? Something like that?
Yeah, late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
And it's, I mean, and that song we just played, and I'm saying this as a fan of music, would take out anything that a lot of people was doing nowadays, because of it was done with that kind of passion and that determination and dedication to it. So, I'm saying that just to say, the appreciation I think a lot of us have out there in this business is still there, but it's more ran by, it doesn't have a whole lot of heart like it used to have, and it's good to be able to see you guys come back together to be able to do something. So, Damon, what's on deck for you guys now in 2012?
In 2012, that's cool. Well, right now, I've been ordained as a minister. I go to different detention centers, prisons, and different stuff like that, and preach the word of God and Jesus Christ to a lost world. I do gospel music. I still do R&B music. That's love music. Anything that's that's love, and it doesn't, that message of putting people going to bed and all that type of stuff, I try not to touch that. I've written a song on Bad Boy for B5 a couple years ago. Like I said, I work with Amory. I working with an artist now called Kyle James. He's a pop artist. He's doing a deal with Universal. We did a few songs, and I want people to look out for him. He's 17 years old. He's amazing. We just finished 2 songs. We're about to do another. I'm actually an ex-Memphis member with the 4byFour right now. We did a show in Boston a few weeks ago. We have like 3 shows this month. I think one next Saturday. you know, Stevie D and Khalil and those guys. I just did the first couple shows with them. We did some BLS interviews. They played one yesterday, and on the 4th of July we had a live one on there. And you know, I'm an extended member with them right now, and I just, you know, like I said, doing some writing. I was looking at a young girl, an actress that was in that movie Camp with Danny DeVito a few years ago. I was watching it. It was on today. She never really came out, but I remember doing vocal coaching with a partner there from we did a few songs on her. I remember her having a showcase for Universal, sitting up there in the office with Sal and those guys, and they loved her. I don't know what happened with that. I haven't heard from her, but you know, today you can look for a lot of stuff, even in the gospel realm. I got some songs that I'm working on and stuff like that, and that's, you know, and I know Steve is, you know, we all into the Lord. I know Steve is even a worship leader in his church and stuff. That's something that Steve, I'm sure, would like to talk about what he's doing also.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, yeah. The Lord is definitely first in everything we do in my family. I've been a worship leader in more than one church, actually. Right now I go to Crossroads Fellowship in Raleigh, North Carolina. And been doing that for a while now. It's been about 4 years. And before that, I was a worship leader in another church called Body of Christ for about 3 years. But I still play. I still play guitar and sing in a couple of bands. We played all up and down the East Coast. We've done House of Blues. We've opened for Huey Lewis and the News and a bunch of other older acts from back in the day. And, you know, I mean, if you play, that's what you do. So you got to find an outlet. So I've been just doing that and writing. And ever since I left New York, before I left New York, I did a lot of commercials, a lot of jingle writing, and a lot of commercials. Actually had a great opportunity to work with Luke Evangelos for a while before he passed away. He started a group, so I was part of that. I did some background work for a lot of people. I mean, if I start to list, then we're probably going on till 1 o'clock this morning, but I've done a lot of background work and a lot of writing and a lot of, you know, just a lot of musical projects. And hopefully, if God willing, I'll continue to do that, you know. And my daughter sings, so I'm hoping, you know, you never know if she decides to, you know, try to make a career out of it. And I'm not going to force her, but if she wants to, then, you know, I'll support her. If she doesn't, I'll support her in that. But that's it, pretty much. Just kind of keeping myself going. You know, thanking God that I still have the ability to do it.
Amen.
Okay, Jay.
Oh, yeah, just like the fella said, just you always want to have your foot in it some kind of way. But right now, I mean, I've done some things with Damon, and I'm sure we'll do some things together again. And the four of us, I'm sure, will get together and do something in the near future, even if it's just a jam session. But right now, I'm a middle school dean, and you know, and I teach writing, and you know, and I run the music program in my school, in my middle school.
Wow.
So I have a choir there, but basically what I'm doing right now, just I'm teaching, and I'm the dean of discipline, so I'm a star in that route. So when I walk down the halls, you know, the kids, they'll either applaud or they'll get suspended. I mean, one or the other. You know, but seriously, I mean, I love kids, and so that's why, you know, I have my own kids, and like Steve said, you know, our children have talents, and I'm not going to push them, but if they want to, you know, I'm here for them to offer some guidance. But my thing right now is educating, and with music incorporated in that as well. So using music as an outlet for my students.
So we can safely go on the record saying that never rule out the possibility of some music by 4byFour. Like that could be on the horizon, you know, in the near future.
Well, we all just expressed it. Okay, go ahead.
I want to answer that one. I would love to make that happen. I'm going to tell you one thing, and I don't want to sound cocky by saying it or arrogant, but I know one thing. If we were to get together today and do one song, we blow a lot of people away that's doing this. And I'm not trying, and I'm a humble guy, but I know I'm looking at music today, and I just know the talent, what Steve got, what Steve brings, what Jay brings, what my brother Lance brings, and what I could bring. It will be incredible. And I think we owe it to the fans that wonder whatever happened to us to at least do that one time. I want to shout out Kevin Gray, too, my man Kevin Gray down in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
You know, big up Kevin for putting this
Kev,
together.
what's good?
Kevin Gray.
No doubt, no doubt. Kevin is the man. He's the NBA All-Star on this station, Mr. KG. That's what I call him all the time. So he's definitely a good guy. Definitely.
God bless you.
You know, one thing I can say, and I want to ask you guys a couple more questions before I let you go. And one is you've already answered one that a lot of the listeners have tonight, as far as will you guys ever come back and things like that. Let me ask you a question, because I've asked it to a lot of different group members. When it comes to groups, you know, compared to, you know, back then, because, there's always been, a lot of dysfunction in a lot of different groups for whatever reason. You know, it's always happened. There's been people that either left the group, broke up, people got replaced, stuff like that or whatever. When it comes to groups nowadays and this new generation of doing music, do you feel like it, having a relevant group is still something that can actually be done nowadays, or is it kind of like ancient history now?
Well, it's a thing where the boy bands have really got trickled down, like phased out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call it, like even a group like Boys to Men today that's so super talented, like people look down on them like like it's not happening no more. I can't really even answer why music even went in that direction, with all these solo artists, because there's still a lot of, those boy band groups that I'm sure could, bring a lot of good music to the forefront that people could love. But like even the girl groups, you don't see a lot of that anymore.
Absolutely.
But maybe, hopefully it will change again, and how things have a way of turning around. Maybe, it'll take one group to really make that thing really happen big. I know those little kids, mindless behavior, it seems that the little girls seem to accept that, but the older, like a little like 21, 22, even in the 30s and some 40s, those groups still have something to offer, a lot of good music that people would love.
I agree.
Amen to that. I mean, I would love to see it, just because to me, I think music, anytime you do it, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but, as fans, we all appreciate good music for the nostalgia, the feeling that you feel when you hear certain songs. And, a lot of, I go on YouTube, and when I saw some of your videos, and a lot of people was like, damn, that was like some of the best times for music that certain people have had at the particular times, and it's because of how it makes you feel. And one thing I would love to see return again is that passion that people had when it came to real meaningful love songs. Not those quick one night stand ones too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta bring that love back to relationship music, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Cause Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you get tired of hearing them little real quickie songs or whatever. Like you like that the stuff you guys do, like the come over joints and some of them other songs where it builds up to that passionate moment. You know what I mean? Like I miss that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the risk of sounding like an old dude, I talk to my kids all the time.
Hey, if you are, then that means I am too, bro. So
yeah, I mean, I try not to do this often. I catch myself doing it, but I'm listening to the radio in the car or wherever they are, and I'm just telling them, well, that's not good because that's disrespecting you. And so I'm talking to them and letting them know, those lyrics are not uplifting for you. And so, sometimes I come off sounding like, oh, it's just dad saying how it used to be back in the day. But then I think they do understand. They listen to the lyrics and they say, okay, well, these lyrics are saying something, and it's putting forth a great romantic message, but it's still with respect, out of respect. A funny story, I wanted to mention something because Damon had said something earlier that reminded me. When we first got that song, the lyrics there were some things in the lyrics that we had to change back then to make it acceptable. I don't remember exactly which lyrics they were, but I remember we did change some of those lyrics.
That's true in a couple of songs, actually.
Yeah.
They were too suggestive. That's right. I remember that.
Suggestive. Yep. And so, if people would just go back to that, it's like, because there are so many people who want that. And I feel like when you were talking about the industry earlier, I feel like maybe I'm an advocate for independence because I feel like there's enough people out there that want that kind of music to where if those people get together, they can keep pushing those groups like Boys and Men and 4byFour and all those older acts because they're not too old to do the things you love. They're not out of touch. You know, they have the talent and ability to do it. But I feel like it's so industry-led that people are going to go along with whatever has the money and the power to say, okay, well, this is what's in this year, or this is what's in this 5 years or whatever. You know, boy groups are out now as girl groups, or, you know, R&B is out now. Now it's club music or whatever. You know, I went to go see Maxwell and Jill Scott recently. I mean, that soulful, meaningful, cool music, people love that. They still love it. You know, they're out there somewhere. So if you give it to them, they're gonna want it. You know.
I agree.
So, you know, anyway, getting back to the lyrics thing, I think that is very important. I think that when somebody surprises you with a new release where it's something that's saying something sweet, you know, my wife will say it, and people around will say, you know, that's the joint, that's the song right there, you know, because they know that that's what it's all about. You know, you're presenting a message to people, and that's the kind of stuff you want to play around the house and let the kids listen to. And those are the songs that stick with you 20, 25 years later.
I agree.
All these little songs, these little nasty songs, you forget about that stuff. You know, it's the other songs that you keep forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Jay, let me ask you this real quick. When it, you know, we all know that relationships and R&B music kind of go hand in hand, especially the you know some of them classic Luther Vandross songs and Teddy Pendergrass songs, and you know a lot of the classic, real good retro vibe that you know we felt when we heard songs and they were attached to anything, not just lovemaking, but weddings and things like that too. When it comes to responsibilities of that, do you feel like nowadays you know people just people are just so bombarded with being busy, like, you know, they have so much different kinds of access to certain things nowadays that they just miss the simple things when it comes to not just listening to love, you know, R&B love songs, but also even relationships in general. You know, a lot of people be too busy for relationships nowadays.
Well, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly, but it's two-sided. People are too busy to really weed. People are too accepting sometimes.
Right.
So they'll listen to whatever's out there, and you'll, like the first few times you hear it, and some people will recognize that's not real music. I mean, that took no thought into writing that. That's, you know, you left nothing to the imagination. You know, you got in relationship, in the beginning, courting someone, just like with music, you got to leave something to the imagination. You know, everything can't be so explicit and just out there. And and as a message to artists, that's the same thing. If you're going to write, I mean, that's easy. It's easy to be filthy. You know, it's easy to get right into it and talk about it. But let's be clever. If you want to be an artist, then be artistic. And let's be clever about the things that we speak about. You know, let's be poised about it. Let's put romance back into a romantic song. Otherwise, it's just a slow song with some lyrics that you just threw together.
Yep.
So that's my spin on it. So
I agree. Hopefully we'll be able to see that 360 turn, and we'll be able to see some of this going on. And you know, a lot of listeners, before I let you guys go, is, you know, a lot of people want to know, like, are you guys attached to some of the social media network stuff, Facebook, Twitter? You know, Damon, Jay, Steve, you guys tweet?
Yeah, well, you can catch us all on Facebook. You'll find me. I guess we could all give our names and all, but Damon Hayward, DAMENHEYWARD on Facebook.
Okay.
Same Jay Jackson, same thing on Facebook. I don't tweet much or twit, whatever it is, because I'm just upset that it's called Twitter, but when you're tweeting, so it's just a little too confusing for me, and I'm trying to get over that. So if you call it tweeting, maybe I'll join it.
Never done the Twitter thing, man. My kids tweet it up, man, but I've never done it. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too.
Give him your name. Tell him how to catch you, Steve.
Oh, it's Steve, Steve, last name is Gray.
Right.
Perfect. I'll make sure I put this out there because there's been so many people that wanted to, not just know what 4byFour has been up to, but they actually want to check you guys out and see what you're doing. And before I let you go, I got to tell you, I appreciate the fact that not only are you guys, still, finding your lane with music and doing stuff, but the fact that you guys are doing stuff for others, teaching, helping these kids out as well. Like, to me, I think that's one of the biggest gifts that you can ever give to a child nowadays when they need some kind of nurturing, not just from the household, but also from the outside community, to be able to say, hey, you know what, there's a chance for you to be able to do something with yourself on a bigger stage. And to me, I really appreciate that, really, from the bottom of my heart, because, I love kids and their growth because, after we're gone, they're all that's left. They're all that's left. No doubt. And I want to thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out, and please don't be a stranger to the show, and hopefully I can be one of the first ones to break a new 4byFour record. So
well, Brandon, let me just add this. I get a feeling that very, very soon there may be a 4byFour Facebook page, so we're gonna get back to you with that information. Okay.
Wait, but not Twitter though, right? But not Twitter.
I don't know about Twitter. Not unless they're gonna call it tweeting instead of tweeting. But I'm a little upset about that.
We might need some ghost tweeters for us.
Man, but I am looking forward to just being able to have dialogue with you guys, and I'm definitely going to hit up your Facebooks, and you guys will be able to know me. And once again, shout out to Mr. Kevin Gray, and since he's the main guy that's really going strong on Facebook as well, I'll definitely, because I'm on his friend page, I'll make sure I add you guys on as well. And fellas, thank you. Thank you for the music memories as well, and thank you for letting us be able to, hear what you guys got going on, and I wish you all nothing but the best.
Thank you, my brother. God bless.
This is actually the first interview we've done together in a long time. We appreciate this, Brandon. God bless you, man.
So it's like a reunion of sorts. See, and I want to be the first ones to break a new 4byFour record. So
there you go.
Get to work on that, please. We need y'all. The gang needs y'all, man. I'm serious.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, blessings to you guys. I appreciate it. That's it.
Nexxlegacy.